we'll have tickets for you around 5:20 for the Cavs-Nets game, which is the day after Christmas. And, of course, we're very close, and keep this in mind, very, very close to the end of the regular season. That is April the 9th. So, time flies, right? Right around the time of the Guardians home opener, which, by the way, you can buy tickets for that as of today. Through the 21st, you can buy tickets for the Guardians home opener and single game tickets if you go to cleguardians.com. You don't have IBS, correct?
No. I have lactose intolerance.
Lactose intolerance.
Which will create that, but I do it to myself.
A lot of people have IBS. It's irritable bowel syndrome. I remember many, many years ago, probably 20 years ago.
I have IBS.
You do?
Yeah, irritable bowel syndrome.
Bill Squire's Chris McQuanzica in 11 days.
There's other comics on it. Don't worry. December 16th. Get tickets at agoracleveland.com.
I remember 20 or so years ago, IBS was not talked about nearly as much as it is now. And to rectify that, Kelsey Grammer and his then wife, Camille Grammer, who was like a former playmate or something, and I think maybe his second or third wife, and he would do anything she wanted him to do. I think she's one of the Real Housewives now. Is that true, Poundcake? Was Camille Grammer one of the housewives?
See, I'm not too familiar with the housewives.
Okay.
I'm not.
Mob wives.
I think she was.
Yeah. I'm not that gay. Like, I'm not that type of. I'm not that type of gay. I'm not a housewife gay. I watch Basketball Wives and Mob Wives, but
what is the difference between that kind of gay and a mob/basketball wives kind of gay?
Because I watch Basketball Wives and Mob Wives with a snack. Gays who watch like the Real Housewives of whatever city, they watch it with wine. And they watch it with wine, and they spill tea, and they watch it with their girlfriends. That's like an event.
Seems like a distinction without a difference.
And every gay has their favorite franchise. Like, they're like, oh, I'm a Real Housewife of OC, bitch. I'm a Real Housewives of Atlanta. Potomac all day. Like,
do you think that a Mob Wives gay and a Real Housewives of New York gay could ever find love?
No, they're two different types of gays.
No.
At least he knows. At least he knows where he stands.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're two different types of gays. No,
like you're not any of the housewives. You like the messier stuff, like Basketball Wives and Mob Wives.
It's a lot more ratchet. Once it's on VH1, it's all downhill. Like, Bravo tries to be somewhat sophisticated. Like, there's not. They bicker and have confrontations. Like, they argue. There's not too many fights. Mob Wives and Basketball Wives, those bitches be fighting. They be pulling hair, like tracks be all over the place. That's not a.
Oh, so it's a black thing.
No,
well, there's nobody on the Real Housewives of whatever city, maybe other than Atlanta, getting tracks pulled out.
Well, Mob Wives is all Italian women,
right?
And
that show's not on though anymore, is it?
Because Big Ange died.
One woman who's holding up the Mob Wives franchise.
No, that's just like it just happened that she died the last season.
Who would have ever thought that a woman whose nickname was Big Ange would have died prematurely? Huh?
She died of cancer.
Oh.
Because she talked like this. So,
I see. Like lung cancer?
I think it was something like that.
All right.
Never watched the Real Housewives.
Well, the only reason I mention it is because about 20 years ago, Camille Grammer was married to Kelsey Grammer. And I think I think she implored him to do something that he was clearly uncomfortable with. I wish I still had it. It might be somewhere in my archives. But there was a national radio PSA that Kelsey Grammer did with his wife because she had something called IBS. And people weren't really that familiar with it. And they needed the star. Nobody knew who Camille Grammer was. They needed the star power of one Kelsey Grammer, who was still in the thick of Frasier, if memory serves. They needed Kelsey Grammer to talk about IBS with his wife. He clearly didn't want to, but he loved his wife, wanted to help her out. So she became the celebrity face of IBS, except that she was still just Kelsey Grammer's wife. So that's kind of, and again, I think she was a playmate or something, but that was like what she was most closely attached with. And so a lot of people suffer from this now. Irritable bowel syndrome.
Tossed salad, scrambled eggs, Sounds like regular food to most people, but if you have IBS, it could be a nightmare.
A nightmare. Now, there's a gastroenterologist out in L.A. who is forwarding a brand new hypothesis that he's published in the American Journal of Gastroenterology. I know. You've already seen it because you have a subscription. Mine ran out. He says people who have IBS means their body is triggered by their inability to manage gravity. He calls it gravity intolerance, is what gives people IBS. He said our bowels are like, again, I don't know what people are eating. He says our bowels are like a big sack of potatoes that we have to carry around our whole lives. And for whatever reason, if our management of gravity changes, that can give people all that bubble gut.
Interesting.
That's what he says.
I would think that people like Michael Jordan in the 80s and 90s would have IBS then because he was flying.
He was defying gravity is what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So everyone
He was
around
a-
him
yeah.
would have had irritable bowels.
Well, I think he would because his relationship with gravity was not like the rest of us.
Right. Now, as a Chicago Bulls fan, I don't ever recall Michael Jordan having any accidents out there. That seems to be part and parcel. If you ever talk to somebody who has IBS or Crohn's or any one of those gastrointestinal disorders, boy,
They got stories.
they got stories. You think you pooped in public? That's just a Thursday for them. Never trust a fart. That's the international motto. So this guy says, now, I guess my question would be, how the hell does anybody better manage gravity? You know, it's one thing to determine what might be a problem. It's another thing to figure out what the solution might be.
They're like, oh, man, you're upside down again? Like this? Come on.
I told you to sell your old Nautilus ankle lock machine.
Dude.
What are you, Keaton and Batman? So that's this guy's theory.
What-
Whether or not it gets any traction in the medical community remains to be seen.
What types of things can you do to better manage gravity?
That's the
That's-
question
That's
I'm
what we're
asking.
saying.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Don't wear high heels?
Don't jump over puddles.
Yep.
You weren't in heels when you did that,
I was
were
in
you?
heeled boots, not
Heeled
like skinny
boots.
little stilettos or anything, but my boots had heels on them.
Did your camera get wet?
No, I have like a nice padded carrying
Mary
case for my
tripped
camera.
trying to jump over a puddle.
No,
We
I
talked about this
obliterated
earlier.
myself.
Yeah,
I
she
completely fell.
flat out on
Yes.
Euclid Avenue, trying to save her phone and hold her phone like she was falling into water and didn't
Yes,
want either of them to
arms
get
up.
wet.
Yeah.
That's right.
Like a little kid choking, arms up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, I have a nice like carrying case for my camera. That's like padded. It
I was
did
going to
its
say,
job.
those usually have padding inside.
Yeah, it did its job.
Okay. Well, Big Ange was the best, somebody points out.
Poundcake, did you
R.I.P. Big Ange, I
Yeah.
guess.
What'd you say?
Did you text the show?
No.
No, he's already said here that Big Ange was the best. Camille
Yeah.
Grammer has been on a few seasons of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Okay.
See, they double dip in California. They got Real Housewives of Orange County and then Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Well, it's different places.
Yeah, those are two different areas.
But that's just like they have Real Housewives of New Jersey and then Real Housewives of New York. I mean,
Two
it's
totally different places.
Those are two different states.
just across the bridge though, because they're not like in Trenton or Newark.
Newark. No,
No,
Newark.
no,
It's
you
Newark.
tell me.
It's Newark.
I've only
Newark.
played the clip 4 billion times. You tell me.
They're not in Newark. They're like literally in
Newark.
Newark.
Jersey.
That I would sit in Newark forever.
Yeah, but New York and New Jersey are two separate states.
Yes, but they're
Beverly Hills and Orange County are just two different parts of the greater LA metropolitan area.
Because I feel like you have to make it a point to. I guess if you live in New York, you don't have to go to New Jersey if you don't want to. But Jersey people, I feel like you have to go to New York at some point, especially if you're filming a TV show.
But all the good restaurants, best kept secret, all the good restaurants are in New Jersey. And I know it makes people in New York crazy because there are plenty of great restaurants in New York, but goddamn are
Not
there
that
good
I heard
restaurants.
of. And I heard their pizza stinks.
Yeah. I couldn't find one place in Manhattan that sold Ohio-style pizza.
That's right.
They were looking at me like it wasn't even a thing. I said, get out of here
Give me
with
Ohio style or give me other pizza.
Death.
But I'll be upset
I'll
about
take
it.
death.
I'll eat both of them.
Yup. Well, yeah, okay. I mean, I don't watch any of those shows. I don't know which ones are still on. It makes me, I don't know. It makes me nervous to see all of these middle-aged women punching each other.
They don't do
Oh,
that. That's
No,
what
but
I'm
like
saying.
turning over tables and throwing wine glasses, and it's
You
like,
got it. You got it.
why can't these ladies just get along? Because isn't like Harry Hamlin's wife on there too? Lisa Rinna's on one of these, and it just seems like, man,
It's
you
boring.
can't get along.
Because it's just so contrived. It's
Yeah, but people lap it up. Boy, Andy Cohen, he built his entire empire on that friggin' franchise.
because you get like these middle-aged women, but they're obviously all very rich, and then the way they put themselves together, like Lisa Rinna, she had like a shell, like her head looked like a shell for like the longest time, and then once she got on this show, she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be seen by millions of people. I need a new hairstyle," and then she's like unrecognizable now.
I think Andy Cohen sold the franchise, which is how he made a lot of money because this is on in other countries. Which is like Real Housewives of Qatar or whatever, you know.
Oh, it is. Yeah, that's right. Real Housewives of Dubai. Yep, they do have a real, which I find weird because he's a gay man. So why would he want to promote Dubai?
The
He
longest
sold
running
it.
the longest running international franchise is the Real Housewives of Cheshire.
Worcestershire.
Cheshire. The women living in and around Cheshire, England. The Real Housewives of Cheshire is also the Real Housewives of Athens.
Wow.
And its most successful spinoff. See, Gwen watched this show. Vanderpump Rules was a show she watched.
Mhm.
It was a bunch of kids, like, you know,
They had like a
20-somethings.
restaurant or something.
Yeah, Lisa Vanderpump
called
is this
Pump.
somebody rich's wife, and she had a restaurant. It was a bunch of kids banging each other, and, you know, oh, Gwen watched that.
It's in WeHo. And sometimes the people who do the shows, they make public appearances. And I think not too long ago, when it was still Magnolia, they had like the guy come in and do, one of the guys from the show do a DJ set. Because I didn't know who he was, but people know him from that show.
Oh, boy.
I did a strip club appearance with a girl from the Bad Girls Club.
Hey.
You did?
I
Do you know
remember
which
that.
one it was?
I don't know, a little loud one.
I think
Oh.
that's all of them.
Yeah.
I was going to say, was it Natalie Nunn? I totally would have came to that.
I know.
He would have came, Bill. He totally would have came.
I can't remember who it was, but it was
Ripsy Terzian,
I don't know if I'd remember if you said it.
Deanne Witt, Tanisha Thomas. I like how they give them all nicknames. This one's the instigator, the narcissist. I'm the fire starter, the firecracker, the narcissist from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Tiffany Torrance Davis, the warden. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't. I'm not. I didn't realize that there were that. I thought Bad Girls Club is something that was on for like 2 seasons. There is an ass load of women's names on this list
Yeah,
who've
there
been
were-
on that show.
It had like 11 seasons.
Holy Christ! Yeah, like 17 cycles.
It was
I didn't know it started in 2006.
I
either.
thought it was on for a couple
Oh,
of
I used to
seasons.
watch that show. It was so inappropriate. Like,
So what's the difference between that and one of these housewives shows that you famously don't care for?
because I told you the Housewives.
That's why I love. I love.
He likes it more ratchet.
I'm curious. Okay.
The Housewives shows there are no fist fighting. They flip tables. They call each other bitches and say,
Oh, you want them knocking each other down,
Bad
pulling
Girl-
their hair. You
Yes.
want like world star reality television.
Bad Girls Club. They literally would drag a girl by her hair and throw her into the pool. Like they were. It was madness. I've never seen anything like that on television. And they had like a lot of uncensored stuff too, because it was on Oxygen. So then it wasn't in like the safe. It was like on Oxygen at like 10:30, 11 o'clock, right after like Safe Harbor. And they would show boobs sometimes. You see them like banging some random guy in the bed, like uncensored. I was like, oh my God, this is lit. And then I think honestly people complained because people's lives were getting ruined. People were literally getting concussions and having like part of the scenery fall on
Well,
them.
yeah, they have to sign like a 15-page waiver.
Yeah.
It's like watching Wipeout,
Like
except someone else is pulling you around the room.
at the reunion, it was just like death match. Like people were on there throwing couches and stabbing people, and I think someone got hurt, and so they discontinued the franchise because it looked really, really bad.
Interesting. Because there have been a couple of breakouts like that.
Natalie Nunn.
Bethany girl had a
Bethany.
TV show. She had like her own talk show for 5 minutes.
You're talking about Bethany Frankel.
Bethany?
Bethany Frankel.
Man, it looks
And
like,
she's on Real Housewives.
yeah, Bethany.
Okay.
I mean, that's what it looks like, right? And then the girl that was in Escape from Witch Mountain, isn't she in there too?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Oh, God. Kyle,
Richards?
yeah. Wasn't she in Escape from Witch Mountain 100 years ago? Some of you Gen Xers will tell me.
That is the Real Housewives.
Okay.
I'm talking about Bad Girls Club.
Oh, my God. I can't tell these things apart.
Bad Girls Club is still on. I mean, Real Housewives is still on.
Okay.
Bad Girls Club is canceled indefinitely.
Kyle Richards.
Also,
Oh, her sister was in Escape to Witch Mountain. Oh.
Carl Richards.
Her sister, Carl. But like Paris Hilton's her niece. So she's in that whole family. Oh, I see.
Oh, she's a Hilton? I didn't know that.
Well, apparently she is. See what you miss when you don't watch these shows where there's no hair pulling, Poundcake.
Imagine being like Actually, there was a reunion show. I saw the clip of I think Portia got her hair pulled by like one of the African American girls on the show, and it was like a big controversy. And Eddie was like, "We don't do this on this show. No one touches each other. You guys can say what you want, but we don't touch each other." And she got banned.
Doesn't it get monotonous, though? I mean, watching these shows, I assume maybe a season is 14 episodes or something, unless those are shorter. But doesn't it just get monotonous?
See,
like it's the same thing every show.
But that's the thing. That's why I don't like that one, because yes, it is monotonous.
No, I mean even the track pulling one with the ratchet.
No, that
Really?
it's always entertaining because I always learn some good catchphrases from that.
Such as?
I ain't get no sleep because of y'all. Y'all bitches ain't get no sleep because of me. And she would.
That's a catchphrase? I've
What
never heard anyone
song?
else use that phrase. I mean, a catchphrase, to me, implies it's taken off. Makes its way into the popular vernacular.
But he doesn't want it to be in the popular vernacular because he wants people to think he came up with it.
I didn't get no
why would I
sleep.
tell
Well, no,
you?
he just told me. I didn't get no sleep because of you. You bitches didn't get no sleep because of me.
Yeah, because they kept waking her up, and so she was banging pans.
Yeah.
That was Tanisha. Tanisha also said the nothing like a nice tall cup of juice to calm your nerves.
Oh, no.
So you did steal it from a show. Oh, except we got him on that one.
No, I said that.
I don't remember that, but I'm sure he came clean on it.
But it's not stealing. She put it out there. Like if someone says something on this show, people repeat everything, the stupid stuff I say all the time, and they're not stealing it. They heard it from somewhere. I'm giving them props because
So it's an homage.
I also think that a nice tall cup of juice calms your nerves. She was just the first bitch to put it in the terms that I like.
In language terms.
In language terms.
That's a pound cake.
Had to be a ratchet way. And I was like, yes.
All
I
right,
do feel
now
a
it
lot,
makes sense.
I feel a lot more complete after I have a nice, tall, cold cup of juice.
Huh.
And Tanisha was...
And what kind? So they really were bad girls. Now would they drink someone else's juice?
No,
That would be the ultimate bad girl move.
No, but what happened was, because they knew she drank juice,
This is so funny to him.
can't
He's
stop.
pre-laughing.
because they knew that she liked a nice tall cup of juice, they put hot sauce in it. And so...
I mean, I put hot sauce in things. I enjoy it a great deal. I love, I like sriracha.
They put it in her juice, and she was ready to kill everybody. She just ran through the house and was like, "Oh, well, I can't say it, but yeah, it was entertaining. Just look it up, Tanisha Juice on YouTube.
Tanisha Juice.
Sucking it dry.
What if that's her nickname? You know, like Oran Juice Jones?
Yeah,
Tanisha Juice.
it was Tanisha Bad Girls Club Juice.
Kyle Richards was in the original Halloween. There you go. Well, maybe I'll have to go back and watch one of these shows because they genuinely sound like bad girls. They're putting hot sauce in people's juice, Bill. I just wanted juice.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to be spicy.
Come on.
Oh, I'm going to
How am I going to calm my nerves?
I'm going to pull. Yeah, by the way, nobody would need their nerves calmed if they weren't constantly fighting and pulling each other's wigs off. That's why she's so
what's
nervous.
the show?
I mean,
Nobody wants to watch the Good Girls Club. They want to watch the Bad Girls Club.
All right. I'm going to take a break. If you want to get the last word in, make it good. Send me a text, 35192. The Corey Roddick Experience. On the way after 6:30 tonight. Cavs are off. And we'll be back.
The Alan Cox Show.
On our free iHeartRadio app and your favorite smart device.